So, what is a stuttering disorder? What are the symptoms? What are the causes of stuttering? What can we do as a self-help? I'll also give you my best ideas about the stuttering treatment. Stay tuned. So, it seems pretty obvious what are the symptoms of stuttering, right? So stuttering is when the flow of speech is disrupted by involuntary repetitions, prolongations, and so forth, as well as involuntary silent pauses or blocks, in which the person who stutters is unable to produce sounds. So that's pretty clear. We're having speech impediments, repetitions, prolongations, or blocks. So the first symptom, speech impediments, is visible. The second symptom is the tension we're feeling in our body. Now, to better understand the third element or symptom of stuttering, let's take a look at two other speech disorders: apraxia of speech and dysarthria. Apraxia of speech is when a person says, instead of a word, something different. Like instead of camera, the person says kama, or ara, or kamama. So the person has a plan, clear plan to say camera, but by the time it gets to their articulators, they produce something different. So there is an error in this motor execution plan. Now with stuttering, we also have a bit of that error. We have a plan to say something in a certain way and it goes a bit differently. But if I ask you to say camera, probably you would say camera. Now dysarthria is related to the general weakness of certain muscles. So instead of camera, a person says so not enough articulation to really understand a person easily. And also compared to stuttering, it depends, of course, we all are different, but for many of us, it is a bit of the weakness of our muscles that are engaged or involved in that speaking process as well. Now, why I'm doing this comparison? Because apraxia of speech, dysarthria, they're pretty flat. It's not like right now a person has apraxia, it's all like different sounds, different words, and then all of a sudden the person speaks perfectly. Or with dysarthria, a person is articulating clearly. So it's pretty consistent. With stuttering, we have this magic, oftentimes, this magic picture when a person is either fluent or much more fluent in certain situations. Like when I'm talking to myself, for example. Apraxia, dysarthria, they show up. When I'm talking to myself, well, there's a big chance I don't stutter at all. So there are two worlds in our mind and two images of ourselves in our mind. One is that more fluent world, more fluent speaking, more fluent me, more regular, normal me. And the other world is that world of stuttering situations, and stuttering me. And we live having two worlds in one head. And it creates the third symptom. Naturally, we tend to try to avoid the stuttering situations and try to create more of the fluent situations. And the way to keep fluency is to reduce speaking. So quite naturally we get to the point where we start avoiding speaking situations, hiding our stuttering, and generally holding back. So stuttering is a complex disorder consisting of these three elements. The speech impediments on the one hand, and regular people also have glitches, speech impediments from time to time. Desire to hide it, anxiety, avoidance, holding back on the other hand. And again, regular people also have avoidance, holding back, anxiety. But what makes stuttering a speech disorder, and a very complex one, is tension. It connects them together. It serves as a joint. It's the roof, the top of that arc, of that structure, which makes it very firm and stable. And you see this tension, it's both the physical, the speech impediment side, it's both emotional, psychological, it's anticipation, anxiety. This tension builds that into one thing. I'm giving the link below this video, and if you're reading a blog post, you will see that I have a stutter video. Beautiful guy, beautiful speaking, beautiful topic. So he talks about stuttering, and you may notice he starts just a couple phrases without stuttering, absolutely fluently. And then the first speech impediment comes, and after that, the speech impediments go one after one. It might seem like a very stable and consistent thing, but it still grows a little bit. Naturally, we're putting more force because we want to get through it. The more force we put, the more counter force we get. And actually what happens with tension or by tension, our body is trying to help us, trying hard. Other muscles which should not be engaged in speaking, they're trying to help us. Yet we don't need them. We want to release our vocal cords. We don't need any other muscles. So stuttering becomes for us an automated tension. Our body and mind, they know how it happens, when it happens, and they know that it will definitely happen. And we're getting to causes of stuttering. Now, I have a separate video about causes of stuttering, so if you want to go into detail, you can go and check it out. But my big idea is that, of course, we have underlying causes. Call it neurology, repressed emotions, genetics, heredity, brain, and other injuries. And I personally have all of them, but they are the underlying causes. Once the stuttering is formed, once it's established, it starts to reproduce itself. Stuttering, again, is an automated muscle emotional memory. That's something that happens automatically because of the repetition. We've built that automated pattern. So the major cause of stuttering is stuttering itself. And I know we like to look into causes, maybe this causes my stuttering, maybe that causes my stuttering. But the truth is, again and again, we need to deal with stuttering. We need to face it. We need to do something about this established automated pattern. And I see, let's be honest, that oftentimes it distracts us. This looking for causes distracts us from actually doing something about stuttering. And what can we do, you might ask? And remember the symptoms, remember the elements of stuttering. We have speech impediments, the helplessness in face of speech impediments. So we want to remove that helplessness, and we have negative feeling about stuttering, about speaking interaction, about ourselves as well, that shame, that embarrassment. We want to remove that as well. We want to become more open, active, and positive about ourselves and speaking interaction. And when we do both of those, remove speech impediments and become more active, open, and positive, then the tension, that roof, that joint, it gradually disappears. The way we've built that tension, the same way we want to build a new state associated with the act of speaking. And now we're coming to 5 big ideas I want to share with you about self-help and stuttering treatment. So the first idea, there is no stuttering treatment, no magic trick. So there is no stuttering cure, and we cannot treat stuttering with any medicine or device. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean we can't do anything about stuttering? Of course not. Stuttering is a pattern. It's an automated pattern. Yes, it's very stable, it's strong, it's tricky, but as any pattern, it can be changed. It just means we can change it instantly. And the same way we've built stuttering as an automated muscle and emotional memory, the same way we want to build a new pattern, a new automated muscle and emotional memory. So here is the steering wheel. You are the captain of the ship. Grab it, it's yours. Other people, programs, experts, therapies, and me included, they can help you, they can guide you, they can inspire, motivate you, they can keep you accountable, they can give you some structures to go along. But this is your journey. Finally, you define the strategy and you go that journey. Idea number 2. We need the training speech to bring more security. And that's a huge point. Because you probably think of the training speech like, I can see you. Now what I mean, it's a bit different. It's like, I can see you. Yes, we want to put more into our speaking. We want to put relaxation, power, expression. And I'm preaching about putting these fundamentals on a very firm physical ground using the hand stuttering technique. And even though, yes, the training speech is slower than our regular pace, especially first when we're building it, we want to feel the music in our speaking. And people often say, yeah, but I don't need the training speech. I'm kind of fluent most of the time or sometimes. So this idea that I have this fluent piece of my speaking, that everything is fine in principle with me, I can speak, is the number one objection, and it's frankly number one problem we're having. Because maybe this is the biggest revelation for you, but we don't have these two pieces of our speaking, the fluent and the stuttering one. It's one and the same speaking pattern. The same pattern, the same ability produces the fluent speaking and the stuttering speaking. These are not two different types of speaking. It's one and the same thing. And when we're chasing that fluency, I want to be this way, I want to be this way, we're chasing nothing. It's like a kitten chasing its tail. We're not changing anything in our speaking pattern. It stays the same. It's like if I go to the basketball court and I shoot 1 or 2 out of 10. And I keep thinking, yeah, but I did those 2, so I can do it in principle. So why don't I do 10? And the honest answer is because my level is 2, not 10. And to up level, to get to that new level, I need to work with the fundamentals. I need to practice those fundamentals. I need to understand what's the right way to shoot the ball in the first place. Because maybe I'm doing something wrong. I don't know. Even though it seems that I can shoot in principle, I'm doing that. The same way with our speaking. We can't chase that fluent state forever, but the truth is, that is our level of security in our speaking. Our speaking pattern is insecure. And the training speech, it creates a secure space we get into, and we finally have an ability to express, to interact, and to connect. The training speech is a way to build a totally different level of confidence in our speaking. With the training speech, we want to associate, to link the speaking interaction with that feeling of confidence. So when you're in the spotlight, when everyone is watching you, like everyone is judging you, you still have the same amount of confidence. You still feel you're inside that secure space you've created with your training speech. And you go and shoot the ball with a different level of confidence.
Malone is doubled. They swat at it and steal it. Here comes Chicago. 17 seconds. 17 seconds from game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan. Open. Chicago with the lead. Michael Jordan running on fumes with 45 points.
At the end of the game, you got to get it out of his hands.
Idea number 3. Performance closes the gap between exercises and real life. Doing speech exercises at home is great. Going to the speech therapy, doing something in the therapy room is awesome. But then we get real life and boom, it happens. So how do we deal with that urgency of real life, with that pressure it puts on us? A huge piece of dealing with that feeling of urgency is performance. In Free From Stutter Facebook group, I encourage everybody to shoot videos and post them. Or even better, go live, because it creates even more pressure. Like, it's live, it's right now, somebody's watching you. And the trick is, when we perform, nobody's actually putting any pressure on us. We are in total control. We can turn off the camera, we can delete the live, we can just decide whatever we want about our speaking. So it makes it kind of easier than the real life, much easier. At the same time, we're building tons of confidence, because still we get to some state of interaction, of connection. Even now when I'm talking to the camera, I'm connecting with you even though there is nobody in this room. And yes, ideally, it's great to have the training speech so that you're practicing the training speech, you're building the training speech. But if you don't have it, anyways, that's a great exercise. So if you still don't do it, start doing it now. Idea number 4. We want to open up and be active. And here most people would say, how can I open up and be active if I stutter? And that's a valid question. That's basically huge fundamental, the basis of stuttering being so strong and stable. The big element of stuttering is hiding stuttering, pretending or trying to be fluent. And some people say, why pretending? I can be fluent, I can speak. And again, we are pretending to be fluent people. We are not. And that's the big truth to realize. We are faking, we're pretending, we're trying to be somebody we're not. And inside the Free From Stutter Facebook group, we're doing an openness challenge when we're playing with different exercises and assignments, and most of them, they don't involve speaking at all. We just want to open up as regular people. We want to feel that stuttering is not defining us. It should not define. It should not hold us back from interacting, from connecting, expressing our emotions, from being ourselves. That's why I love the training speech, because it's not only building a new speaking pattern, new neural pathways and everything, it also helps us open up and feel the true strength in being yourself. Being a person who stutters, who is getting free from stuttering. And idea number 5. To build a new pattern, we need intensity and consistency. What oftentimes happens in the speech therapy, you go to the therapy session, you feel great, you do some exercises, maybe you're building something, then you go back to real life and you come back to your default speaking. So all you've created is just wiped out. So we need a certain level of intensity to build something that you want to apply, you want to use in everyday life. And again, I'm preaching about the training speech that we are building and that we start using in everyday life settings, interactions, and speaking. And besides intensity, we need consistency, because again, it's an automated memory. We need to upload something new, the positive experiences, the positive speaking experiences, the positive muscle and emotional memory. We want to upload tons of confidence associated with that act of speaking. It might sound like a massive work, and in fact it is, but it makes the change real. It makes the change of our pattern possible. If you want to know more detail about the training speech, what it looks like, what it sounds like, what it is actually, I have a free improved program for you. You can just go to freefromstutter.com and you can find it there. And I'd love to see you inside. side. Now, for more videos, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and for more interaction, for the openness challenge, for the speaking club, for that performance I talked about, join Free from Stutter Facebook group. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.